and fewer South Africans in the employment circle. 32.9% is where the quarterly labor force survey came in for the first quarter. And we've been speaking around AI, specifically related to call center agents and the impact it's had. But keep sharing your views, and it is a conversation we will follow up on, just to take a look at what the industry dynamics reveal, what it has meant for jobs, and the impact on the livelihoods and employability of many South Africans. It is 10 minutes to 8 o'clock.
Higher Biz, tech and innovation.
You know, the beautiful thing about technology and innovation as we're discussing it right now is that in as much as it might make people feel disconnected, but it's also a true connector of individuals and crafts and creates community. Community in the sense of having mentorship, support, opportunities to get access to markets, and of course expand just how far you can be inspired, be influenced, and of course the impact that you have on society. I use those three words deliberately and intentionally because they are the taglines and three pillars of an institution called Boss Babes South Africa. Now, this is the largest proudly South African platform, which is truly dedicated to empowering and uplifting South African women who happen to be in entrepreneurship, business, and of course leveraging their skills there. Founded back in 2020 by a chartered accountant who herself is a former consultant, also a corporate speaker, MC, and I love the title you have in your LinkedIn as a stargazer, because I think that tells us more about where your head is and mind is, and I love it because I can relate. We joined in studio by the founder of Boss Babes of South Africa, Kovini Mudli. Such a pleasure to have you, ma'am.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I decided to, brave the Joburg cold because this is a very important conversation. So thank you so much to Kaya FM for allowing me to utilize my voice tonight.
No, thank you. And I must say, it's exciting to see you again. We often see each other in the hurry and the rush of major conversations and corporate engagements. But I think it's really refreshing and important for us just to really amplify the understanding and the foundation of Boss Babes of South Africa.
Yes.
You do a lot of work in empowering women. For those who aren't on the platform or haven't heard of it just yet, how do you do what you do?
I think for me, there's a passion that drives me in terms of being able to run Boss Babes of South Africa, just being an extension of my personality. As a GRC expert and a chartered accountant.
GRC, for those who don't know?
Governance, risk, and compliance. So, I think for me, it's just about lending that skill further, paying it forward, and being able to actually, empower and impact women's lives in a more tangible way.
And that's exactly what you've done by broadening the level of impact and influence through reach and social platforms.
Yes.
Talk to us about, how have you, done this effectively, because you have a number of female entrepreneurs on your platform, and maybe elaborate on the kind of support that you do offer.
Yes. So Boss Babes of South Africa, I think we've evolved as the times have evolved. We started in the midst of COVID in my bedroom as a hobby. And little did I know that by coming on there and speaking in my authentic voice and sharing vulnerabilities, because I think a lot of people were quite anxious and scared about COVID, and no one in their lifetime had been through something like this. So I would go on and just talk about, the fears, and little did I know that, women across South Africa would start to resonate with this. It very soon became less of a hobby, especially when the various media houses started to cover it.
Yes.
And, we've really evolved from being a female empowerment platform. It's now moving more into digital advocacy, because that is impact for me.
Exactly.
It's less about the fame. It's less about the videos, which I think we all post. But for me, it's really about that impact that drives me at a soul level to want to do more with my time. Yeah.
And let's talk about that impact, because you've grown, as you say, since 2020. If I'm not mistaken, your followers are in the millions.
No, not the millions, but 100,000, but the reach certainly in millions.
Got you.
Yes.
And let's talk about that, because those who are on your database, obviously, there's a number of data and insight that you're able to extract in terms of the challenges female entrepreneurs do face, connecting them with the right support structures. What has come through to the surface regarding the solutions that you can bring forward, but also, I guess, people you can partner them with to assist in offering solutions?
Yes. So we have run a mentorship program in the past where if someone wants to understand what it is to be a doctor, for example, and you're in matric, we could partner you with someone to go and have like a real life day in a doctor. A lot of people get scared and come back and say it's not for them, but that's good, because that's what a day in the life of whatever it is you want to become is very important for you, for the youth especially, to be making sure that they are making the right decisions. We've also launched Share Sizonke, which was a digital empowerment platform where women would come through and share different types of skills. So we had lawyers, we had mental health advocates, we had even a psychiatrist come on and talk about mental well-being. So I think it is really a platform for all women in South Africa. It is a voice for all women in South Africa. And through our various campaigns, we start to understand a bit more about our audience. And our long-term goal, or our constant goal, is to make sure that we are bringing value to our audience and changing with the times. And like you mentioned just before I started, the unemployment rate is such a sad, heartbreaking scenario in South Africa. We often have to reflect and say, almost cry our beloved country. I say it a few times whenever I see the unemployment rates, and today it was showing that it's higher than it's been. So it is quite heartbreaking when you've got professionals who've studied for many years sitting at home and not being able to earn a single rand from that. So what we do is feature young entrepreneurs. We feature, someone who may just have been qualified. We give women the opportunity to use their voice on our platform, because it really isn't about me. It's about bringing this diversity of voice and challenges as well, because I think sometimes on social media we just want to show an airbrushed reel of our perfect moments. I'm guilty of doing that on my own page.
Same here.
But
We all are.
we all are. It's a highlight reel. Life is never, a green robot after a green robot all the way to the end. It wouldn't be life if that was the situation.
Exactly.
So I think for me on Boss Babes of South Africa, it is about bringing the good, bad, and the ugly. And lately I've also been focusing a lot on creating awareness around something called Corporate GBV, which is a different facet of GBV. It's more the psychological impact, the financial impact, the professional impact. We often associate it with there has to be almost an intimate relationship, or it has to be a domestic partner. But unfortunately, this sort of scourge is very, very much a silent pandemic in South Africa. And I lean on my own experience as well as young professionals that I have mentored and that I continue to mentor literally every week. So I get a good sense of what's happening out there in organizations. I also get a good sense of, where the culture is healthy and where it's not so healthy. So I think it's very important for us as well to start to use digital empowerment platforms to actually talk about the challenges that some women are still facing today behind pretty buildings.
Yeah, that's true, and amazing titles and the power suits that we wear. There's a lot of pressure that does unfold in the background. And maybe, Kovini, this is an appropriate time for us to, deep dive into, people who are keen to get involved, whether it's Share Sizonke and they want to share their skills and help impart them onto someone else, or bringing attention to themes like Corporate GBV. How do they support? How do they partner? How do they get on board? How do they share their story?
The best thing is to send us a DM. We get lots of DMs a day, but luckily I've got 3 great young social media managers that keep everything, rolling, and a well-oiled machine. They're still learning, but at the same time, that's my way of creating employment for them. And all you need to do is
well done.
Thank
You need
you.
ones for that small,
I receive. But yeah, I think, they are the ones that I've obviously defined the strategy. I get involved if there's, a post that goes bad, for example, but hardly ever, So anyone who's listening to this who thinks that they are able to add value to the platform, or just want to put out their small business, which is a proudly South African business, can send a direct message to Boss Babes of South Africa. And if you're struggling in a workplace that isn't ideal for you, you're struggling in what we call a toxic workplace. People don't like to hear that, but there's a lot of people suffering in silence. And I think the unemployment rate and it being difficult at this point to find another job is also forcing certain environments to take advantage of that, to see how far they can push boundaries before someone cracks or breaks.
Exactly. It is unfortunate, but
It
is
is.
a very harsh reality that we do live in. Kavini, we'll leave it there for today, but always exciting speaking to you, and thank you so much for making time.
Oh, thank you so
reminding
much.
us, yeah?
Thank
Appreciate
you.
your time, definitely.
See you at the next amazing conference.
Oh, ma'am. The pressure. But thank you. Do make sure that you log on to their website, number one realism platform that has been founded by Kavini Moodley. It's called Boss Babes of South Africa. They're on LinkedIn, they're on Instagram, they're on Facebook, and of course you can reach out to the company website where you will find an opportunity to sign up and pay it forward, really. Opening up the doors of communication, looking for support, and of course leveraging off of the power of amazing networks that technology has been able to provide for us. That was the founder of Boss Babes of South Africa, Kavini Moodley, joining us in studio tonight. Well, there you have it. Quite a busy evening that